Wow, good evening, good evening. This is the Apostle again out of Zurich. I'm just reading a news out of the Loop, and I must say, I big up the Loop once again, and I give good respect to them because of the information that they carry out and online so that we can always see the news that is going on in Jamaica and around the world. Jamaicans reacted to a new grooming policies for school. The Ministry of Education, Youth and Information on Sunday announced a new policy for school to use as a guideline for the grooming of children during the upcoming school year. Minister Rural Reid said it will help school administrators and parents determine the acceptability, appropriateness, and suitability of the appearance of students, especially in relation to their hair. The introduction of grooming policy comes in the wake of a recent controversy surrounding a female student being refused access to Kensington's primary in Portmore due to her dreadlocks hairstyle. In light of the new guideline, as we can see, Loop took to the street in Alpha Tree and downtown Kingston to get the public reaction. The video, I have to put it up another time. In the new policies, the guidelines for females are clean, neatly maintained hair. Hair may be worn in pack, braids, and twists of locks that are evenly spaced. Ear accessories shall be pinned inconspicuous, and school colors with no more than 2 colors worn at any time. Hair should remain in its natural color. No fashion trend, shaved sides, visible lines or patterns. No styles associated with gangs, antisocial cliques or groups. No wigs or ear extension. No bleached or dye hair. Eyebrows shall not be shaved or have any visible lines or patterned. The guidelines for males are clean, neatly maintained hair shall be kept in a conventionally low cut that is evenly graded around the head with the length kept close to the scalp. Alternative, hair should be groomed to conform with the conventional standards of an even profile, appearing close to the head. As a result, hair shall either be worn in a low, evenly graded cut or in a style that is close to the head, away from the face, ears, and eyes, and secured. If long enough at the base of the neck, ear length that cannot conform with such requirement must be covered at all times with appropriate headwear. The hair shall remain in its natural texture and color. No hairstyle affiliated with gangs, antisocial cliques or groups. No chemical process style, bleach or dye hair. Eyebrows shall not be shaved or have any visible line or pattern. No braids, mustache, or sideburns allowed. And students with facial hair should be clean shave. Wow, that's a good policy. I don't have anything against it. Because you're going to school and you're representing that school. You're wearing that school uniform. That means you're obliged to that school. And you should be representing that school at all times while you're in its uniform. I've realized that sometimes they put the small little children, not even 3 years old, in some big hairstyle, grooming them, I don't know for what reason, that does not and is not appropriate. When I remember when I was going to school back in the 50s, 60s, we didn't have all this kind of, we were children going to school. I know some people would say now it's a modern times and we can do now because it's our children. That's why we are having the problem that we are having now with our children. Keep your child like a child. Allow them to be children. I'm not saying much on this, but I leave this to my viewers and subscribers here and also my criticers to give me their views. And like I always said, don't forget to like, share, comment, and do subscribe. And God bless you. Shalom.
Views regarding the government's guidelines on grooming in school.
Well, sir, personally meeting say, look up in them go like them are big people when them having fast here and so. But otherwise from that, you know, like picture there, when you put in a look something your face bright up. So like graduation and picture there and special service at school, the people then can put in them look braid and something, but otherwise from that, sir, them for go with them natural ear bubbles and clips, sir. Because them picking nowadays now, once they having look fast here, sir, them go like them adult.
Well, for me, grooming with kids always must look like kids. Once they are going to school, they should look like they're going to school and not a party or whatever. Ribbon, clip, bubbles, yeah.
There are rules and regulation, and I think as citizens of this country, we ought to abide by the rules and the regulations, because some of these things that are taught in school at home, the parents don't really teach their children, you understand, in that respect. So you find that the teachers have all of these troubles to struggle with in order to groom and, prepare these kids. But so I believe that the rules should be upheld in schools then.
They keep talking about this conventional. What is conventional? What are the standards? What are we asking? What are we really looking for? Because conventional can mean anything. So what is conventional to the schools? What are we telling our children? So we're trying to figure out what this really means. So that's my view. I don't know. I can't really give a proper comment until I know what they're really specifically asking for, because that's ambiguous.
I totally agree. For one, I think children should look properly attired when they're going to school. Hair should be neatly combed and stuff like that. I'm against children wearing colored hair, but there are children who might have parents might have a challenge combing the children's hair, especially if the girls with short hair. And for them to maintain it for the entire week and properly groom, I would suggest that they get them to wear braids, but to be done in such a way that's natural. It's not obvious that it is braids. It can be done. There are hairdressers who can do it, but it must not be overdone. It must be in keeping with how children ought to look.
Yeah, the hair extension and boys, the cutting of the hair depends on the style or whatever. I don't think that should be allowed in school. I think they should properly attire for school. Because school is school. I mean, if they're on holiday and you want to do your style and whatever, then fine. But, I mean, you're going to school, you should represent your school and be proper about it.
The government policy good now because the guy them wear too much tight up pants and all them stuff there, so you have to set a stand where you know, say, them go to school tidy looking grooming. You understand? Here, if you cut on in a nice cut style. You understand? Nice fade style for the boys. And the girl, they must comb them here and make them here look. No big style like them a big woman. Because them, some of them make them a go on like them a big woman. You understand?
As long as the child don't have in the big woman hairstyle and the hair, as long if you're a rasta, so be whether your religion or not. If you want to rasta hair or rasta child hair, that is the parents' obligation, and as long as the child is okay with it. But what the big woman hairstyle with the color and the braiding and all of that is too much.
In terms of the young girls, I remember my days in school. You hear wash on weekends and the flat and putting a little ribbons and stuff like that. Nowadays I've seen locks and all those stuff going to school. If it is locked, yes, and properly groomed, pin it up in one or something like that, fine, I don't see a problem with it. But you have some of them, when they lock it, it really look like a dreadlocks. And I don't think that is sufficient for school.
Women in school is, is important, especially for boys. For me, I don't think the boys should have certain hairstyles going to school. You should be able to differentiate a school boy from an adult. Like the mohawk and stuff, I'm not in agreement with. But for the girls, what I read from the guideline, I think the ministry needs to clarify what it means by evenly spaced. Part I hear what is evenly spaced. That needs clarity.